This camera angle is good. Let me just make sure that I can see what I need to see. Let's see. Okay. Here we go. Okay. And I just want to make sure that everything is on camera. Okay, I'm gonna have to use my phone, I realized, to figure out to do comments or to see comments, because I still am not able to see them on the laptop. I can only see them on the... Hey, Rosetta. I can only see them on the iPad or the device that is recording. Let me see. I don't know why I don't see a comment section. Let me see. Hey, Leslie. Hey, Nora. Hey, Lisa. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Let's see. How do I see clip video analytics? I don't know why. Start with the poll. Like, how do they do all of this? But I can't see anything. I don't know. So I'm gonna have to get my cell phone to be able to see, because I am never able to see it on the laptop. I can only see it on the iPad, and I don't know how to be able to see the live chat on the laptop. I don't understand why it never lets me do that. But we are kind of ready. Join the conversation at Derek. Open panel. About join the conversation. I don't understand. Okay, just bear with me for a moment while I go get my cell phone, because that is apparently how I'm going to be able to view what you all are saying without having to stand up and look over. But welcome, welcome, welcome. Don't mind the background sounds of those my little cousins downstairs practicing piano, one of them, and yeah. Hold on, I have to. The fact that I am unable to see the chat on the laptop is so annoying. But we're gonna make it work. We are going to make this work. Okay. There we go. Okay, welcome, welcome, welcome. And I'm gonna have to put this, I'll put this like here so that I can see. Okay, we are in a whole new kind of workspace and setup, so I just need to be able, make sure you all can see. Okay, so now let me know if you hear me okay, if the visual is okay and everything. Give me a little say so in the chat. Welcome, welcome, welcome everyone. Sandra, Sister Nasira. Hey Karen, hey Zay, hey Daphne, Leslie, Nora, Lisa. Are y'all ready? Okay, I just want to make sure if the everything is cool. I don't want I know that there is the background sounds that we all might not necessarily be accustomed to, right? But new space, new working situation, and it's cool though. It's really good actually. All right, so if you were here with us on Friday, then you know that I was being extremely over ambitious with this skirt. And as you can see, I did not get to tuck those strings. I did finish it on camera Friday night. But when I tell y'all I was exhausted and done and burnt out, yesterday I spent the majority of yesterday sleeping because I think the hard part is over. So I caught up on some sleep. That is why I didn't get a chance to do her hair yet. But that doesn't matter. All of her other components are in fact finished. She has her legs, she has her arms, she has her wig cap and her ears, and yeah, we have more than enough to assemble because the main assembly component is in fact the body, you know, the parts, the arms, the legs, the ears, the wig cap, and all of that. And here's the thing, because you all have done properly different hairstyles, it's okay if, you know, like, bottom line is there was no way for me to do one set thing and everybody gets it. I'll explain by showing you the designs that are finished. And they are based on what the pattern instructions tell you to do, right? Okay, so that being said, you know what I realized? I did not bring the yarn that I need to connect the legs. But does anybody have any questions before I run and get the Summer Shine yarn? Does anybody have any questions? Anything that was kind of challenging about this design for you? Let me know. And while I run and go get this yellow, also known as Summer Shine here, do me a favor, hit the like button and make sure that you interact and engage, because I'm trying to get this YouTube channel popping. I'll be right back. 1 second. Okay. And we are back. There we go. All right. Now, I've now done this design. This is the 7th version. A little bit design fatigue, maybe. I don't know. I really like the design though. But before we get started, let me introduce myself for those of you who are new here. My name is Aniqua, and I'm the artist, the designer behind My Kind of Thing, a handmade company that specializes in one-of-a-kind handmade dolls, particularly dolls of color, and even more specifically, black and brown dolls. The goal is to promote pride and confidence in children of color, particularly girls, and even more specifically, black and brown girls, in efforts to combat self-hate. And through crochet, I create stuff like this. Can you see? This was the first version, right? And she has these really cool shades. I found the yellow ones. And she has this really cool skirt. And if you have purchased the companion pack for this Crochet Together design, then you have these really cute accessories like the earrings, and it comes with the jump rings for you to attach to the flower and put the earrings in. And you also have, if you purchase the companion pack, you have the yarn that you need to create this really cool flower petal top and flower petal skirt. You also have a button, a flower button, to create the attachment for the shirt to close it. And that is based on whatever color accessories you chose, right? And then, of course, you also have really big, bright eyes. You have the flat blacks, right? You get the brown and the whites of the eyes, and you get the lashes. Now, this particular companion pack didn't come with a mouth because there was so little surface space here that I just felt like a mouth might be too much for this small portion of the face, so I didn't include one. But if in fact you feel like you need a mouth on this design, I recommend the smallest size that My Kind of Thing, My Kind of String offers. But I don't think that mine are getting mouths. And then also, if you really feel like you need one, you can embroider one. But I'm just going to leave them without mouths for now anyway. So this is the yellow version. The yellow version has the braided ponytail. So you have the pattern, the instructions include this hairstyle, right? And then we have the Magic Moss version. She doesn't have green shade. She has glasses. 'Cause this is the only green glasses I had in my repertoire. And so this one, she has these kind of like poofs, these kind of poof buns. Kind of remind me of Hershey's Kisses, right? And I didn't put her button on. We're going to be using her when I show you how to put the earrings on. So I'm going to put her to the side for later. Then we have this girl here, made with mermaid water. And like I said, whichever one you chose comes with corresponding accessories that match it. Glasses are not included though. But yeah, and this is the textured Afro puff, the curly textured Afro puff. And so that is also included in the pattern's instructions, right? And then we have this version, which is also really cute. The purple version. If you ordered the purple version, she comes with these really pretty iridescent purple sparkly accessory. And she just has really neat buns. And that is also included in the pattern. You like the mermaid water version, Alberta? Yeah. And then lastly, we have the Pixie Pop version. And of course, the Pixie Pop version has these really pretty earrings. She comes with that if you ordered the pink version. And she has this loose hair, which the instructions for that is also included. Let me put my phone on silent. And yeah, so you have five different options for hair with this design. And that's what makes it so special. I like all the styles, so I guess I'll be busy. Yes, so that's the thing. And then lastly, I decided I wanted to also give them tulle skirts underneath their flower petal skirt. So I still think I'm gonna commit myself to doing that. But before we do anything, the first thing on the agenda is how we're going to be putting all these pieces together. We have ears to put together, to attach, wig cap to attach, arms and legs to attach. And so I always start off by attaching the wig cap. Now here's the thing. It's important for me to have the ears in place where I want them to be because the ears inform your wig cap. And what informs the ears is the belly button. So if the belly button is supposed to be in the middle, then we want to make sure that these ears support that, right? So we're going to make sure that the ears are placed in such a way where it appears that she is looking forward. And so now what you want to do is you want to make sure the ears are all on the same row, right? So there, right? And you just follow the row to make sure that they're pinned in the right place. Okay? And so with that being said, I left the long tail for my wig cap because I'm going to use this tail to attach the wig cap to the head. And we're going to use the curved mattress needle to do that. And I realize I'm probably working too far forward, so I need to bring my hands down some. should have put like a little spot on this backdrop. Does anybody have any questions? Any questions? Anything? What was the most challenging aspect of this design? Okay, before I do anything, I need to make sure that I make that little funny faux stitch. So basically, just to kind of hide my ending point. Okay. Now, before I even attach this, like really attach this, I want to make sure that it's placed in a way that I like. And I also want to pin it in place because I don't want it to, shift while I'm working. So shout out to Chastity Stanley for the unlimited supply of straight pins. And I say unlimited because it technically should be, right? But sometimes I leave them in designs and, but they'll last a long time. I use skein tones for the head and body, so they look small to me. Yeah, skein tones is a thinner yarn. So it is definitely going to appear, it's going to be smaller because it's a thinner ply. It's 4-ply, but it's a thinner or softer yarn. And so, yeah, it's going to be smaller. Let's see. Let me just make sure. Okay. I just want to... Can you hear them down there singing? Okay, I'm just going to pin these things in place. The wig cap in place. So, oh, y'all see I'm wearing my kind of string t-shirt. And I'm not even on camera today. But I was supposed to be, but I realized that I wanted you all to see my hands and the design being put together. Okay, so now that I have it pinned in place, now I feel more comfortable about about attaching it permanently, right? So I just wanted to make sure, because the other thing is the wig cap is a little loose. Sometimes even with the same brand of yarn, different colors, sometimes the texture varies slightly. Right, so here we go. You said ready for that faux stitch? I did it already. You might have to rewind, watch on a replay, rewind it. But basically, it's just going, you know what? I'll tag you in the place where it is in one of the groups, because I have it in so many different spaces. And if you've taken any of the workshops, it's in the workshops for sure. Okay, so now basically we're just gonna do kind of like a back stitch. So basically going in the stitch behind where I came out, skipping the one in front and coming out into the next one. And it creates a nice tacking situation. Excuse me, forgive me. I still don't know that I've caught up on all of the lost rest, because while I did sleep most of yesterday, I have been up since about 4 or 5 o'clock this morning. So I don't know. I don't know when my body's gonna say, okay, you're regular again. But basically, this is how we attach the wig cap to the head. Just making sure that, you're going into the wig cap and into the head. And you don't want to pull the stitch too tightly, because it will defeat the purpose of all the sculpting and counting that we've done. Right? So you just want to make sure. Let's see. So what are some of the things? So what are some of, like, what colors did you all use? Like, share with me, what colors did you all go with? I know some of the colors that you all picked because I packaged up the orders. I'm gonna say, of the 7 now that I've done, I think I would say I have a favorite, but it changes. Initially, when I did the first one, which was the Summer Shine, she was the first one I did. I was like, oh yeah, this is my favorite, because I love the way the yellow looks with the brown skin and the brown hair. And then I did Mermaid Water, and I was like, ooh yeah, I love this one, because I love the way the Mermaid Water looks with the fudge drizzle skin. And then I did the purple fairy berry, and I was like, wait, I really, really like the way this fairy berry looks with this brown sugar skin tone and this dragon glass hair color. And then I did firelight with the fudge drizzle skin tone, and I was like, ooh, wait. Yeah, so it just kept changing, and I was just like, you know what? I don't know that I have a favorite, because the other thing is too, then I was like, you know what? I like the Pixie Pop and the Fairy Berry and the Mermaid Water together, because they all have the sunglasses, right? And I was like, yeah, they're special and they look really cool, and they're like jewel tones and all of that with their little shades. They're so cute, right? And then as I was packing and moving, I found the orange shades, I found the yellow shades, and I was like, wait, so yeah, it kept changing. And so finally, I think that I could admit that I love them all for different reasons. I'm using Pixie Pop and Summer Shine. Awesome. And Sandra, you like the orange. So here's the thing. Sandra, what skin tone are you using with the firelight? Because I used fudge drizzle, but I have a feeling that it'll look good, really cool also with brown sugar. So what skin tone are you using with firelight? Almond. Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah. The firelight looks really good with brown sugar. You know what made me think of how nice they look together? Working, well, not even working, but looking at, and working on when I was doing it, the fall harvest design. That fall harvest design, I really love those colors together. They look really good. And I'm not just saying that because they're my kind of string. Hey, Patricia. You're in Jersey? It's not too far from NYC. Okay. Yeah, so I really like the firelight with the brown sugar and with the summer shine together. Oh my gosh. Those three colors together are magical. But yeah, so once I finish up these girls, because that's the other thing, I am a doll maker. I am supposed to also make dolls for people to purchase. So once these girls are finished and properly photographed, they are going to be up for sale. How about that? So if you are here and you're watching and you're not necessarily a crocheter, you're just interested in purchasing a doll, then you might want to check out mykindathing.com. Okay, you got your dolls with you? You know, I've been meaning to ask because I watch you move from place to place. Patricia, are you a truck driver? I've been meaning to ask for like the longest time because I see you're constantly moving from city to city to city, place to place to place. And it's just always been, are you a truck driver? I always think it's so cool. I've started like being like, oh, I wonder where she is now, you know? A nurse. Oh, okay. So you're a traveling nurse. Is that what you do for a living? Because, like I said, I notice you're always somewhere. My aunt's a nurse. Are you a traveling nurse? Because that is also really, really cool. Maybe am I being too nosy in your business? uh, I find your dashboard photos really, really cool and exciting. So that's why I asked. Okay, so I don't know if y'all noticed, but I got to move this a little bit and move this a little bit because I don't like how much they're curving, but I'll fix that. Let me just make sure. Okay. And I'm about to be back where I started. Okay. I think we got it. Look at that. Look how cool and neat that is, right? Have to give her forehead space. You know, you got to be mindful of that. A lot of times you got to pay attention to how far up or far down you put your wig cap. Because you want to make sure that you have space for eyes and eyebrows and lashes and all that. Sometimes my mom lives in New Jersey. I'm from Jersey. I'm there a lot. In New York, I live in Atlanta. Okay. I just always notice you have You always have like really cool dashboard photos, and you're usually in different places. So I'm like, I wonder if she drives a truck or something. That's cool. That's cool. So my aunt is a nurse. The pattern Nurse Pam that I created was inspired by my aunt, who has been a nurse for, I think, probably almost 30 years now. So we got it. Now that we are back where we started, we can basically, because we've been back stitching this whole time, it kind of locks itself in place. So you don't have to do any kind of tying or anything. You just need to stick that needle in and come out in between the stitches and the rows. Never just any random place, in such a way where no one can tell where you started and where you ended. Okay? No one can tell where you started and where you ended. And then I'm gonna take another precaution, and I'm gonna just, because I'm always doing extra. So you're a traveling nurse, or you just be traveling because you feel like it? Because you said you're in Jersey, you're in it, you live in Atlanta. Hold on, you said you live in New Jersey. From Jersey, there a lot in New York. Oh, that's right. Your mom lives in Jersey. You're from Jersey. You live in Atlanta. You was in Florida a few days ago. Like, I just know your dashboard photos. That's how I always know that it's you before I actually read any names or anything. I know it's you because it's usually a dashboard photo and you have work on a dashboard. So I just assumed that you travel in some way or shape or form for a living, which is really cool. You have to remember not to be so high up. Maybe I should move the camera up to compensate for the fact that I feel like I have to work high up. Let me move this chair up. And let me move the camera up. Is that better? Because I feel like I need to work here. Yeah, that feels better. Rebecca Bell. I'm sorry. You know what? All kinds and confused. You know what? Y'all have similar emails, Patricia. Right. Thank you, Sandra. I'm like, who is Right. Rebecca Bell is the one that's with the dashboard cameras. Right. I'm sorry, Patricia. I had you thinking this whole time you're Rebecca Bell. I don't know. I scrambled my brain. Well, either way, how is Florida? I have quite a bit of family in Florida. You know what? I think y'all have similar emails. That's how I got it confused. Because my brain sometimes memorizes people's emails and names and how different they are from place to place. Like email, Facebook, Instagram, so sometimes it's a lot to remember. Sorry. Yes, Rebecca Bell. And it's funny, you know what? It's not even so much that the emails are they evoke the same feeling when I read the email names. That's what it is. It's not even like they're similar actually. But anyway, yours always cracks me up, Patricia, when you purchase things, because yours is what, Pinterest. I always laugh when I see it. But yeah, so it's attached and secured, and now we have to we have to put the ears on. Okay, so if you've used the brown sugar for the skin tone, or if you've used whichever color you use for the skin tone, that's the color you use for attaching the ears, right? And if you notice, I haven't stuffed her body because I wanted to do that on camera. Because I know that a lot of people want to know how or the best way to do that. And so we're going to split the yarn. And we're going to use our curved mattress needle. And this is how we're going to attach the ears. You work nights here in Atlanta, travel a lot. Oh, my condolences. My condolences. I am so sorry for your loss. Good afternoon, Chastity. Okay, so before I attach these ears permanently, before you attach ears permanently, you want to make sure that they are evenly placed. You want to make sure, because if you do not have them lined up evenly, you will have one ear up or one ear down, and that is not what you want to do. Okay? So, happy birthday, Chastity, right? Today's your birthday. Woohoo! Happy birthday. Okay, and so I'm going to basically first knot it so as to secure it in place. Are you doing anything special today for your birthday? Besides hanging out with us here for a little bit? Let me know. Do y'all hear the background noise? Like I said, I'm upstairs in the house, and downstairs are my younger cousins, and they're a lively bunch. Okay. Got any special plans, Chastity? Okay, we're just gonna tack them on. Is there a game today? Because they're sounding like my neighbor across the way back in the beginning of my kind of thing that we were talking about on Friday. They are either watching a game or playing a game. Yeah, they are. They they usually do it. And it's so funny because, so like I said, my aunt, this is like, it's a big house. And so downstairs my cousin and her family lives downstairs. And up here is my aunt. And my other cousin. And so my cousin, she has 2 boys and a daughter. I think y'all have heard me talk about Polka Dot before. Polka Dot is my little cousin slash goddaughter slash. It's a whole thing. Like, so my cousin and me, my aunt's daughter, we were raised kind of like sisters in that we're close in age, and I'm one of 7. And so all of my brothers and sisters like are paired up except me. Like, I was the odd one out that didn't have a partner. And so my cousin was kind of like my partner because we were closer in age. And so we were raised really, really closely. And so her children, in addition to the fact that we're actually blood relatives and whatnot, they're also my godchildren. And so Polka Dot, the little 11-year-old girl, is interested in crochet. She has been learning now for I think like maybe a year. And so she's super excited. We're going to have some little crochet sessions. But funny enough, me and my cousin, we learned together. Like when we were about, I was like 18, she was about 19. We learned together from our aunt's old home ec books. And it's so funny, like Polka Dot was telling me, she goes, Mom picked up crochet again. I was like, oh, did she? I said, oh, you know what that means? We're going to have some crochet sessions here, huh? Okay, so we have one ear attached. And while it's very, very low, it's cool. I think it's cute. I probably feel like I should have had it a little bit further back because it's looking real, real forward right now to me. But, you know, it is what it is. It's okay, especially when we put those earrings on. She'll be fine. Okay, so notice how I've come out in between stitches, never busting through them because we don't do that. And here's another little technique that you can do to kind of tuck strings without cutting them and worrying. You can use the yarn needle and just kind of twist it and tuck it. Boom. That way I don't have to cut it or anything. It's hidden and secure at the same time. You'll never see it again. Nobody will know where you came, where you went. That is very, very important. Attaching. No, you know what? I'll say this. It's not really easy. It's just basically, you know what I want you to understand? Yeah, my family is very, very lively, Karen. They are. I am from a very lively bunch. Yeah, so the thing about it is, this is what I want you to remember, Tony. You are in charge of what happens with your thing, right? The tools that you use in order to make this what you want it to be will be your straight pins, right? However, wherever you want this to be, you know, you got to kind of be like, this is how I want it to go. And you use, it's almost like using the needle, the curved mattress needle or the tapestry needle to kind of write where you want it to go, you know? It just takes practice too. Because for me, a lot of times I'm just like, I know what I want it to look like, and whatever I need to do with this needle and this yarn to make it do what I want it to do, that's how it's going down. Okay, so same thing over here. Now, keeping in mind, we want to make sure we're attaching on the same space, right? So look, see that? If I wasn't paying attention, I would have missed that. It needs to be down here, right? So following that row all the way across, boom. See, it was up here. If I would have just not paid attention to that, that would have been a little bit of a issue. And let me just make sure up top is the same. Okay. So now with that being said, it will come out right there. And we're going to put this through. All right. You just tug it. And once that's in place, you can pull this out because it's no longer necessary. Okay. And now we're just going to attach it to the head. And the other thing is we want to take our time because this is a leisure art, right? And because it's a leisure art, it's not supposed to stress us out, right? We're supposed to be relaxed and just getting it to do what we want it to do, right? Take your time. I'm also working on April and Bimba. Oh, okay. Yeah, I want to do another one. I have so many things that I want to do, and I have a bunch of things that I want to do again. And, you know, there are things that I want to do that I did with other yarn that I want to kind of revisit and do with my kind of string yarn. Like, I definitely want to do Aisha again. Let me just make sure. Okay. And now that we have that part attached properly, here's the thing. I always go behind the ears too. You don't have to. I do just because that's just who I am. But technically it's secured by just going in the on one side. It's totally fine. But I really like to make sure it's extra secure because I say this all the time. I don't know who in the end is going to wind up with these dolls, but I want to make sure that whoever ends up with them, you know, if it's a crazy child who likes to pull and tug on things, is Aisha the fashionista doll? No, Aisha is the design, my first ever published crochet pattern. Aisha was featured in the Simply Crochet magazine, issue 66. Very, very popular design. Let me see. I don't even have any references that I can. She's the little chocolate girl with the vibrancy. I can't even give that description because most of them have like vibrant color clothing and all of that stuff. Aisha. Issue 66 of Simply Crochet magazine. Aisha, she's the one. And these ears are hilariously facing forward, and we just gonna let it rock. Let me see. How can I explain? She has a head full of curls and braided bangs. Goodness, I don't know if I have any reference to that I can reach for at this time for Aisha, but my first ever published doll pattern, and it did really, really well in the for being the first published design I've ever done, like written instructions. It did so well, and I feel really proud of that. Issue 66 of Simply Crochet magazine. Hey, Vima, welcome. Oh, wait, no, I'm not cutting that. We're gonna cut this, but before I cut it, let me move it a little bit. The Fall Fashionista doll, I never really gave her a name. I don't think. I think I kind of modeled her after my niece. But I don't think I gave her a name. Ta-da! Okay, wait, let me tuck that. Again, yarn needle. This is a good way to get rid of loose ends without worrying about whether or not they're gonna, come undone or something later on down the line. And this is the importance of going in between stitches and rows, because the yarn needle is a bigger needle and it's blunt, so it won't split through fibers. So boom. Now, normally, I don't particularly like ears this low. Normally, I don't like ears particularly this forward, but this is how it worked out. Sometimes, you just got to let it do what it wants to do. Especially I say this to you, Emanuela, because I know that you're like, it needs to look like this. I want it to be. I promise you, sometimes what they look like, or most of the times, it's not completely intentional. Like I said, these ears are much lower than I like. And that's just how it's going down, because I don't know if you can see, but yeah, that's not the same, but this is what it's gonna do. It's just gonna work out this way because it's not bad, and I'm not taking it out to do it again. So, but she is gonna be cute either way, right? Oh, thank you. I named her Aisha because Aisha means she is life in Swahili, I believe. Yes. And one of the reasons why I thought it was cool to name her Aisha was because at the time my goal was to really, really be to put black doll making in the realm, in the crochet doll making realm. I felt like there was a lot of dolls and doll patterns, and it wasn't enough diversity in crochet doll patterns. So the reason for her name being Aisha, meaning she is life, is also because I felt like even using the colors that I was using was important. A lot of these magazines and things, when they feature certain types of designs and whatnot, it's typically, pastels and, neutrals and all of that. And I like vibrant colors. And I think that the vibrant colors that I use kind of gives life to the designs. There are many babies with forward-facing ears who will be happy to have a baby with ears like theirs. That is true. You are right. And in that case, this is just how she turned out, right? And there, like you said, there's going to be some little girls who are like, yeah, those are my ears. So that's why I say try not to be so fixated on placement per se. You just want to make sure they're even, they're on the same rows. And you know, that's the most important part, right? Now, what I also wanted to show on camera was stuffing. So you all watched as we were making the heads how I stuffed the head, right? Now we're going to stuff the body. Remember, the amount of stitches around the neck, I think, is 9. I think. And with this wooden dowel, there's no stuffing that's going to go with the wooden dowel and in the neck part. So we're not even worried about that. But we do want to make sure that her body is adequately stuffed. And so I keep the wooden dowel in initially to begin stuffing. And now we want to stuff to make sure that the shoulders are created, because remember that increasing that we did, that created the shoulders, right? And we want to make sure that we evenly stuff that area, right? And as we're stuffing around this wooden dowel, because we need to be able to take it out, and we also need to be able to reinsert it. And so we're creating a pathway for the wooden dowel as we're stuffing it. Using your finger to move the stuffing where it needs to go. And also not stretching out the stitches. I like how your stitches are so neat and smooth. Thank you. Some of that is my skill, and some of that is my beautiful yarn. If you haven't gotten my kind of string yarn, you definitely need to check it out. In the description of this live video, I have a link to purchase the companion pack for this design. And it, you know, you can just breeze through the shop if you like, and you might see something else that you like. Okay, and so with that being said, I think it's stuffed enough, right? You don't want to stuff it too much, because what we do not want is we don't want to stretch out our stitches. We don't want to put so much polyester fiber fill in that we can see it through the stitches. If you are using my kind of string yarn, right, it's a certain type of thickness combined with the hook size that we use that you should be able to stuff your doll without it stretching or the stitches, the yarn showing through, the stuffing showing through the stitches. Okay? You see? Again, you don't want to overstuff. You just want to make sure it's full enough. You know, you don't want to put too much. Okay. Now I'm gonna pull this out because I don't need it right now. Right? Now here's the thing. If you have the pattern, then you know that there is a certain amount of stitches here. Let me pull it up because I don't remember. I should just ask you all, right? Do y'all know how many stitches this is? At the bottom, I can't remember offhand, but I'm going to pull up the pattern to see. Let's see. It's so funny, all these options. Okay, 32 stitches, right? And we also know that we have these here legs, right? And for the legs, each leg is, thank you, Sandra. So each leg is 14, right? So 14 and 14 is 28, right? So 32 minus 28 is what? 32 minus 28 is 6, right? which means that in between these legs, there should be 6 stitches. That means 3 in the front and 3 in the back, right? That's what that means. Here we attach these legs this way. So shout out to all of my kind of thing university students. We've been doing this way now for 3 years because I love the look of a leg up design. I don't like how the leg up design is not able to sit, right? And I love leg up designs. I love the way they look. I love, I really love it. Like, and I just kept on saying, I love this, but I don't love trying to photograph it in different ways. Oh, it's 4? Is it 4? Listen, thank you, not 6. It's 4. Now, here's a funny thing. I would have found that out, right? Like 28, 29, 30, 31, 30. Yeah, sorry. Thank you. I promise y'all I'm not slow. I'm still a little tired, a little off. In the pattern is probably written. No, see, I don't know if I put that part in the pattern. Either way, thank y'all. Y'all was a little late on it. I'm over here saying 6. That means 3. So 4, that means 2 in the front and 2 in the back. Now, I've done this design now 6 different times. This is the 7th time. And you would think that I would know. But no, because I do a million other designs at the same time, it feels like. So, right. So 32 minus 28 is 4. And those 4 stitches, you need 2 in the front and 2 in the back. Now, shout out to Chastity Stanley for the win again, because I got all these wonderful stitch markers. Ooh, it's a lifetime supply, you would think, right? But it's going to be years before I need stitch markers, or if ever again, right? So I'm going to take 4 stitch markers out. And you don't have to do it this way, but I'm doing it because I got them. I got it like that. So I'm gonna take 4 out. And I'm not taking 4 out because it's 4 stitches. I'm taking 4 out because I need 2 in the front and 2 in the back to kind of separate where excuse me, where the legs are supposed to start and end. Ooh, I don't like that that's green. I need it yellow. See, now I'm getting bougie again because I got all these here. Stitch markers. Now I'm like, ooh, I'm gonna just use the colors, the coordinate that I want. Left a couple of stitch markers on the. Did you? That's how they know you was there, Karen. Look, people can always tell where I was because there's always some evidence of something, like whether it's yarn pieces or glitter. Even though, Karen, I ain't been in your car now in years now, there's probably still some glitter from the last time I was there. But yeah, there's always some remnants of the fact that I was around. It's in the form of yarn pieces, yarn scraps, or glitter, typically. Okay, so before I even do anything, I have to establish where the middle is, right? And so basically, I'm deciding that, of course, the belly button is here. And if the belly button is here, then that means the middle is here, right? And remember, there's 4 stitches that are left off. Let me see what it looks like if I move it over. Okay, yep, we'll make that work, right? And so remember, the leg is 14 stitches. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, right? So the other stitch marker goes right here. And the other stitch marker goes right next to it. Now I know this looks a little wonky because that's a little fake stitch. Don't let it trick you. And if I did everything right, then that means it should be 14 stitches on this side too. Let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Got it. Now, what I do is I take one and I pull it over to kind of connect them together. And so I don't need 4 now, I only need the 2. All right? And this is really cool because it creates a really nice situation for you to connect the legs properly. Okay. I'm sure it is. Oh, was it 6 years? No, it hasn't been 6 years. I think maybe 20, right, almost 6 years. It's been like 2020 since before the pandemic. Yeah, so, dang, Karen. We got to do something about that. That's crazy. That is crazy. Okay, so as you can see, we got our little situation going on. Now here's where what I'll do is if I feel like it's a little baggy or loose right there, I'll stuff a little bit more there. Stuff a little bit more, but keeping in mind I still need that space for this wooden dowel. So put a little bit more in the thigh area. You know? Just a little bit more. And the other cool thing about this form of connecting for me, like I said, is it gives the look of a leg up design, but the flexibility of a design that is in fact created in multiple pieces. There we go. Okay, now I need my 3.5 millimeter crochet hook. Where the heck is it? Let's go. And that is because that is the hook that I used to create this cutie pie. Where the heck is it? Oh, I forgot it. Wait, is this it? No, that's not it. This is 3.75. I know I put it in here, right? Yeah, there we go. So, now, because I finished the legs with the yellow, I'm going to attach with the yellow. I mean, it doesn't really matter. I could probably have used, I could use green or yellow, but I'm gonna use yellow for this attachment. Y'all ready? Because this is a really cool technique developed by yours truly. Because what it does is it also creates the kind of thing that allows the legs to bend, but not, it doesn't overbend, you know, meaning like it doesn't bend all forward and backwards all crazy. It still is secure enough in a way that the dolls can be stood up, like if they're in a stand or if they're leaning. Okay, so remember, 14 over here, 14 over here, 14 here, and 14 here. Here's the trick. The trick is you're gonna pinch all of this and turn these 14 stitches into 7 slip stitches, okay? And that's why you don't really wanna overstuff the leg and the thigh too much. Okay, so, and one of the ways to make sure that you're putting the legs on the right way is basically the feet or the toe to head or face is how you know that it's correct. Okay, so now we're gonna sandwich all of these things together. And so basically turning 14 stitches here and 14 stitches. Let's see, count over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 7, right? And we're just going to slip stitch. So that's 1 slip stitch, 2, 2, 2, 3, 3, 3, 3, 4, 4, 4, and 4, 5, 5, 5, and 5, 6, 6, 6, and 6, 7, 7, 7, and 7. And here's the trick. We leave a little tail because we're going to use this to close up the middle as well. So we have one leg attached. Ta-da! And this is what I mean by the bending. You see how when I lean it back, it doesn't flop all the way back? It stays kind of, you know? That's because of the slip stitch. It keeps it kind of, you know, so that it doesn't do the whole, but it definitely bends really nicely forward. So, see that? Any questions? Any questions? Because now we're about to attach the other leg. And can I just say, this is an MKTU exclusive. Because I don't believe that anybody else does this in this way. It's from my brain. Just wanting the look of a leg up doll, but not the structure of a leg up doll. So, okay, now, same thing with this leg. And the cool thing here is that we don't really have to count because we know the stitch markers kind of start the situation. So I know that I'm going to start right next to that stitch marker. So, right? So 7 and 7 right there, right? 7 and 7, right? I love this technique better because it gives me a choice. It gives you choices. Yeah. And I really just feel like, you know, this makes it really easy to pose, you know? Like you can sit her up on something or stand her up. So 7, 6, counting down, 6, 6, just want to make sure, 6, 6, 6, 5, 5, 5, 5, 4, 4, 4, 4, 3, 3, 3, 3, 2, 2, 2, 2, 1, 1, 1, 1. Boom. Cut and fasten off. There we go. We got legs. We have legs. Can you see? And now she can sit. Ta-da! What do you think? And so now we don't need these stitch markers here because they have served their purpose. Good job. And this is a small opening for the wooden dowel, but we have to make it do what it do, and that's why creating that space with the stuffing is important, because there needs to be a pathway for this wooden dowel to re-enter, because this is a very important component to ensuring that her head and neck can sustain or hold the weight of whatever beautiful black hairstyle you're going to give her, right? That's one of the really important components of the My Kind of Thing University, making sure that there is a way for your doll to look really, really cute, have a really beautiful hairstyle, and not be a rag doll, because we're not making a rag doll. Okay, now, arms. We're going to attach the arms. Now, here's the thing. I'm still not going to keep the dowel in because we need to be able to attach these arms, and with the wooden dowel in, it doesn't allow you to move the head out the way while we attach the arms. Okay, so look at that. Oh, she's going to be stylish. Look at her little rainbow draws. All right, are y'all with me? Are y'all with me? Are y'all still here? Okay, so we're gonna again cut a piece of the skin color that we're using. And we are going to split the yarn. Are y'all excited about the finished product? Are y'all as excited as I am about what the final product is gonna look like? How many of y'all are on track? Ooh. Or are we all delinquents? Because look, I imagine, right, that we should have the first week of June to finish her, right? So by Friday, everybody should be finished, because we will be moving on to a very special design that's going to be, it's a good one. She's a good, the size alone is kind of cool, but it's work. She is definitely work. And so I want y'all to be ready. You're a delinquent now? Oh no. I am too, though, currently, but I plan to rectify that. So let's see. Okay, so now with the arms, what we want to do is we want to pinch it, and we want to pinch it so that the pinch is in line with the thumb, because first we sew up the arms. And this is another thing. I know that some people like to attach the arms while they're crocheting the doll. I don't use that technique, because just like with the leg up design, I like for my dolls to be able to like move a certain way, you know? And when the arms are crocheted to the doll, so sometimes, not even, there's a way to do it, but I'd rather just attach them afterwards. But you can totally crochet your arms to the design, I guess. I just don't. You don't have to be finished by any day in particular, Lisa. I just, because we're finishing up today, right? So technically, the Crochet Together ends today. But it's a leisure art. Finish when you can, right? But I am going to start the next Crochet Together. Probably by the weekend. So I don't know. The skirt is giving me a hard time. I can't get the petals to face the same direction to make the waistband. All that to say I am delinquent yet again. Oh, don't worry about it. Like, just take your time with it. Like, are you familiar with the front and back? Like, meaning you know what the difference is between them when you look at them? I'm trying to see if there's a way to explain. Because the thing about it is, because of the decreasing and how it's done, it curves a little bit. But basically, there's a difference between what the front and the back looks like. And I don't know how to explain it. Karen, do you know a good technique to know the difference between the front and the back? Karen says, I can't wait to see her later after you fix her ears off camera. Most of us know better. No, I'm going to leave them, Karen. I've grown up. I have matured. I am not going to mess with these ears. I'm leaving them. It's the chain 9 row to begin the next petal. Yeah, listen, Patricia, let me tell you something. I mean, again, it's my yarn, so I am biased. But I love the way they look when they're lined up like this. Like, I really love the color change. I love the transition from one color to the next. I love seeing it. And that's why you see it so much on so many of my things. And so, and my yarn, just the colors are so vibrant. So yeah, I do love that. The chain 9, you know what it is? I think, so Yolanda showed me years ago, and she didn't show me specifically, but she had a live video tutorial that she did on YouTube. And ever since I learned that technique from her, I haven't done anything different since. She taught me the difference between when you chain and going in the back bump instead of just the loops, and it makes a huge difference. It is what allows the bottom and the top to look similar. The front of the stitches look more smoother than the back of the stitches. I don't know, Karen. Because see, to me, in my mind, right, the back seems a little smoother than the front. I don't know. Oh, we have to figure this out. But so when you chain your 9 and you go back down, that is the part that's facing you. Oh, you know what? I don't know why we're doing all of this, Karen. We are being really extra right now. The single crochet is how you're going to know. That middle row of the single crochet is how you're going to know the difference between the front and the back. Let me show you. The single crochet row should look like the V for the front. For the back, it has that like that like loop thing with the spikes. It looks like the pi symbol. The single crochet looks like the pi symbol on the back. It looks like V's on the front. See the V's? V's. This is the front. V's are the front. pie on the back, the pie symbol. That's how I know the difference, right? And so that's the best way I can tell you for the petals for the skirt and top. Okay, so normally, I mean, maybe it'll help you all if you pin. Matter of fact, let's do it the right way since I'm teaching you all. If you don't know, use a straight pin to pin the arm where you want the arm to go. I don't necessarily require pinning because I just use the belly button as my center, right? Okay. And basically, we're just going to create her shoulders by attaching the arm. You don't want the arm too low because if you make them too low, she'll have way too much shoulder and neck. You don't want to put them too high because then she won't have no neck and all shoulders, and that's not necessarily good either. I know the difference between the wrong side and the right side. When I begin the next petal, it's facing the opposite direction. Turn it around. Like, because what happens is, before you start crocheting onto the side, you have to do that chain. I think I showed you all last night. Once we got to the end, I just, and it's in black, it would be in black. You don't make the skirt yet. The first row is just you going into the sides of the stitches. If it looks like it's wrong, turn it the right way because it's supposed to be, they're all supposed to be facing the same direction. So you shouldn't have any issue with that. There's 5 rows for each petal. Just turn it the right way. It doesn't matter if it twists in that space because you're not going in that space anyway. Just turn it the way it needs to be in order to put them stitches where they're supposed to go. Sometimes you got to get aggressive with it. Sometimes you got to be like, man, listen, this what it's supposed to do. I'm making it do what it do. Okay. So basically, we're just sewing the arm on, not unlike how we did the wig cap and the ears. It's very, very similar. Last stitch is always a little knot, right? And I'm gonna take this straight pin out. Okay. There we go. Ta-da! And then, that sounded horrible. Ta-da! And now I'm gonna go under the arm. You don't have to. I do because that's just who I am. I just, like I said, I want this doll to last forever. I want this to be what the future generation finds amongst the, what is it called? And the dig sites. Like, oh, because, yeah, I just want this to be like intact years and years and years after I am no longer around. So I'm sewing on the arm and the top and under the arm because that's how we do. And then once I get to the end, I do my little knot, and then I tuck it discreetly like I was never even there. Whew. And then get my other one. She got an arm. She got an arm. See? So typically I have labels, and I usually put them like here on the butt. That's usually the place where I put my company logo, on the booty. So, yep. Okay, and we're gonna do the other arm, But yeah, we good. We're making good timing, I think, right? Yep, it's 3:41. We're doing all right. We're doing all right. Let me unplug that because I don't need that plug in there. Whew. And then we're going to do the same thing as far as pinching and making sure the pinch is in line with the thumb. Okay. Just tuck that little bit of yarn in there. Does anybody have any questions? Any questions? Now, when attaching the arms, you have to make sure that they're attached on the same row, just like the ears. So, see how it's there? You have to follow that same line and attach. Now, if you are uncertain, it is best to use a straight pen. You don't have to go rogue like me with this, but I'm used to attaching, so I have a pretty good idea of, where it goes and how it goes, and so I don't necessarily need a straight pen. But if you feel away and you want to make sure that it's even and you don't trust yourself, definitely use a straight pen. And again, under the arm, and I realize I got one that's more stuffed than the other. But it's fine. I'm not going to be crazy about it. Oh, how cool is this? We got it. We got it. Arms and legs. What they know about that? Okay. Here we go. Ta-da! And like I said, you know, sometimes if you feel like you don't want to cut right then and there, you can kind of just use the blunt end of the yarn needle, kind of twist it, stick it in there, and then just push it in and out. Gone forever. Nobody ever knows where you started, where you ended. Y'all with me? Do y'all see? Look at her. Oh my gosh. I love when they come together. Look at that. I feel most proud when I put their limbs and everything together. That's when I feel most proud. Well, you know what, let me say, not most proud, but I feel really proud. That when I really, really be like, oh, I did that, is when I do the hair. When the hair is done and the eyes are done and the face is cute. Oh, yes. But right now is also a proud moment, right? Because everything is attached, everything is secure. Does anybody have any questions? This is a really cute design. The size is really, really good because it's not too big, not too small. It's a really good project. And it's a decent amount of time to spend. You know, it's not overly complicated as far as the pieces are concerned. And here's the thing. You can totally create a different outfit or something for me, different hairstyles. You can make this doll a lot of different things. Let's see how tall she is. She is, look at that, 12 and a half inches tall. 12 and a half inches tall. So it's a really good size. Really good size. I like the design. I kind of want to do more things with this size because I think it's a really great size. Okay, so now remember we left this long string. No, not that one. This one. This is the string we're going to use to close up the hole. But, excuse me, before we do that, we have to tuck these other strings that we are not using. Let's get rid of them. And the way I do that is I kind of tug a little bit and then I come out in between stitches and rows. Now because mine are rainbow colors or whatever, I want to make sure that I'm not, like, you can't see what I'm doing. Like, I don't want these strings to show up later on and embarrass me, you know? Right? And then I'm going to use the yarn needle and I'm going to tuck it even further because I'm not even going to cut it. I don't want to cut it because I don't want no issues with it coming undone at some point. Right? See? Gone. Gone, gone, gone. Same thing with this one. The only one we're leaving is the long one. And look how sturdy she is, see? She's kind of assisted me by tooting her tush to the camera so that I can show you all. Okay, same thing here. We're gonna go in and come out in between stitches and rows. Never, ever, ever just busting through stitches. I cannot stress that enough. Just tuck that. you know, whenever you feel like you don't really want to cut strings because you might be a little bit nervous about them, you can do that. Hoo-hoo. And then I have to finish her hair and her outfit because, of course, trying to do too much with all these colors, I stumped myself as far as what her clothing should be, what her shoes should be, even her flowers and stuff. I'm like, oh crap. I'm thinking because, let me see, she'll have 2 ponytails, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. No, 5, 6. Because I have, there's 6 colors, you know, the pink, purple, green, blue, orange, and yellow. I want to kind of give her one of each for every aspect. Of course, like, you know, just doing the most. I can't help it. Excuse my sniffling. I'm still getting through the whole dust allergen thing. Boom. And then I'll clip that because I didn't feel like bothering with that. Now all of that string crossing, let me make sure I didn't obstruct the space that I created for the wooden dowel. Okay, there we go. Good. Ta-da! Okay, now this is where we add the facial features, right? We're gonna add the facial features. And if you purchase the My Kind of String companion pack, then you have your eyes and your lashes. Now, the cool thing about My Kind of Strings eyes is that you see this. These have holes in the stems of the eyes. Can you see that? I don't know if you're able to, oh, there we go. There's a hole there. This is what allows me to place the eyes after I've done everything. Okay? A lot of people need to know where to place the eyes. I'm going to tell you, I have commitment issues in that aspect, meaning I like to look at where the hair is, the wig cap is sitting. I like to examine how much surface space I'm working with before I put the eyes anywhere permanently. The problem with the other eyes is that because they snap in place, you have to know where you want the eyes to go ahead of time. I don't know, you know, because here's the other thing. Look how low the ears are sitting, right? Normally, you know, well, not even normally, but I can't predict all the time where things are going to wind up, like the wig cap and all that. I don't like to commit to that. So that's why these eyes are important, because it allows me to do all of this work and then say, you know what? Where do I want your eyes to go? Do I want them to go high, low? I don't know. But when you use the other's eyes, they tell you you got to snap them in place. And once they're in place, you know, now you got to work around where you've put them. I don't like that because I didn't anticipate that her wig cap would sit up so far and her ears would sit so low. So I got a good amount of surface space for her ears and I'm going to use it. And I feel really good about that. So with that being said, I got my nice long sculpting needle. And that sculpting needle is what allows me to thread the eyes for insertion. Because not only does this allow for creative freedom with eye placement, but it also is a secure way of inserting eyes, right? And hold on, because before I even, you know what? I haven't decided where I want the eyes to go first. First, let's decide where we want the eyes to go. And the way I do that is I take some knitting needles to kind of help out. So maybe I want them like here, maybe like up a little bit higher, right? And I want them maybe 5 stitches apart. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's see what that looks like. See what that looks like. And I keep the wooden dowel in while I'm doing this because I don't want the strings that I'm using to attach the eyes to obstruct the pathway of the wooden dowel. So let's take a look. Let's see. Do we like how close they are? I think I do. Do they look like they're evenly spaced apart? I think they do. What do you think? How do you like your eyes? Do you like your eyes further apart or closer? I like mine close. And the other thing is, with this technique of inserting eyes, it also creates slight sculpting in the face. So you'll see, right? So I like this placement. I think I'm going to keep it. Yeah, not too high, not too low. Because she still has to get lashes and she still has to get eyebrows. So yeah, I think I like it. And I'm going to pull them out. I'm going to stick this here so that I don't forget or lose my place. Same thing with this one. Y'all with me? Y'all still here? Okay, so now I can thread my eyes. Okay, and so this is how we do it. Exclusive MKTU technique. Boom, peep it. Okay, so we're gonna go in here. Oh wait, but before I do, hold on, let me put that back in there. Before I do, it is very important that the wooden dowel is in there because these strings are crossing inside of the head. They're crossing inside of the head. You don't want them to cross in a way where you can no longer put your wooden dowel in there, because the technique for that is that I need to be able to feel the wooden dowel all the way at the top of the head. Okay, now I can go in and not worry about obstructing anything. And so here's the other thing you want to, matter of fact, so as to not mess up the stitches, I'm gonna go in from back first, because I want to be able to come in between stitches and rows, and I don't want to bust through them. So boom, it's easier to do it this way because the pointy part, the sharp part, will just go straight in. It doesn't matter where it comes out. Okay. Right? And we're going to do the same thing with the other part. And let me know if it's too dark. Can you all still see? Because I know the sun is changing. It's 4 o'clock now. But basically, we're gonna go in the same hole, but be mindful not to accidentally catch the yarn that you already went in there with. So, because the goal is to also come out, but come out in a different space in between stitches and rows. All right. Okay, I'm gonna leave them dangling for a second because my favorite part is coming up. The girl Aerial Edits. I hope I'm saying your name right. Welcome. Okay, let me get my other strand of yarn in the proper color. And I didn't realize, let me see what happens when I turn on the light. Hopefully the light will make it more visible for you all to see. 1 second. Let me get the light on because it's starting to get dark. But in the meantime, does anybody have any questions? Any questions? I feel like that's because I didn't set up the ring light, so okay. So now we're going to put the other eye in, right? I know it looks a little crazy, but don't worry about it. All right, and we're gonna go in. The heck? Oh, still feel tired. Goodness gracious. Okay. All right. I love this part. This is one of my favorite parts because it's like she comes to life, you know? It's really cool. And with the same, and making sure not to catch the one that already went in. Coming out in between stitches and rows. Okay. All right. Now, my favorite part. I know it looks crazy, but I promise you, you'll see what I mean when it happens. Okay, are y'all ready? Are you ready? Ta-da! See how it kind of creates her cheeks a little bit? And again, I like being able to do this with these eyes and this technique. See? And now she has eyes. And here's how we make these strings disappear and secure the eyes in place permanently. I'm gonna go in and come out where the other strand is, like right there, same space with the yarn needle. Same thing here. Come out in the same space because I am going to tie a knot I'm going to tie a knot. I need to find where I put those microphones. I bought 2 different sets. Now I don't know where they are. Okay, there we go. Right? Now we don't want to pull them too much because we don't want to give her the pancake face. You just want to make sure they're pulled enough, right? And since I think they're pulled enough, now I can knot it. Knot it. And then we can tuck them forever. And this way, especially if you have good strong yarn, these eyes are fixed forever. Unless you got flimsy yarn. And my kind of string is not flimsy yarn, so you can trust that these knots hold up. I've not had an incident yet with eyes, so. Ta-da! There's absolutely no evidence that you were ever around. They don't know. They don't know what you did. They don't know how you did it or what you did. Right? And you're basically just going back into that same space and tucking these strings. And I'm going to tuck them one more time because, you know, just for the safety of the matter, right? And then I'll cut it right here. See how cool, how neat, how professional. How cool, how neat, how professional. You know, we do really great work here. We don't do rinky-dink and we don't do flimsy. We do really cool, neat crochet work here. Yeah. Ta-da! She has this really cute face. And now we can give her her nose because she definitely needs her nose. Let's look at her lashes, see what they look like. Look at that. It makes it even cuter. And here's the other thing. You can adjust these if you want them like this, right? You can do it like that, or you can bring them lower. And you can, you know, it's up to you. Now, I have misplaced my fabric glue. I have no idea where it is, so I'm gonna have to get some more. So we're gonna pretend like I had some fabric glue and I put little tiny droplets along where I want the lashes to sit, and we can pretend that I did that. And when I did that, I used straight pins to hold them in place while the glue dried, hypothetically. Hold on, let me. You know, hypothetically, if I knew where my fabric glue was and all went well, right? We would put a pin there and a pin there and a pin here. Here I am being ridiculous now, trying to find a pin that matches the color scheme, right, that I'm using. I can't help it. That's the life I live. Okay, nose. We got a little bit of brown sugar here. I don't need a whole bunch, so I'm gonna cut this because this is longer than what I need. Y'all still with me? Are y'all still with me? I feel like we ain't live enough. Okay. So now for the nose, usually, depending on where your eyes are, I usually put my nose like right under where the white is. You know, some people put it higher, some people put it lower. I'm gonna put it right there in the middle. And it's up to you, it's really your preference. Here we go. Break this. No, not. Okay. And just a few go rounds. And that's really if you want a wide nose or a button nose, it's up to you. You don't have to do this way. I'm still here. I'm crocheting on my. Okay, okay. I just was like, am I alone? And I see that y'all are here. Just want to make sure that we're all still kicking it. We're still crocheting together. What part are you up to, Zay and Sandra? What part are you working on right now? Are we working on the same aspects? Finishing the skirt. Okay. I think I'm gonna do one more pass. One more pass. And then I'll call this little nose done. Now that I'm done, I'm gonna kind of tuck it in. Ta-da! And now with that being said, we're going to create her eyebrows, right? So let's do her eyebrows. And we're gonna take whatever yarn you use to do her hair, right? We're gonna cut a long piece. Sandra, what part are you working on? And we're gonna split this yarn. And we're gonna use our darning needle. And you're chaining 9 to begin the next petal. No problem. I know, Rosetta, that's my fault. I didn't see that you had purchased. It took me a little while to get the notification. So I know I just sent you the pattern yesterday. I think it was yesterday, right? Yeah. That's my fault. Sorry. I've been doing so much this week. Okay, so now her eyebrows. It's just a little simple embroidery, nothing crazy. So did you just finish doing the legs? Okay. What do you think of the design, size, and style? Let me know what you all think of it. The height or the size. Is this a good size, or do you prefer them bigger or smaller? I like a lot of different sizes, but I like this. I don't know why I like this a lot. The size is really cool. The structure to me is really cool. Fighting with the migraine. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. I know how debilitating freaking migraines can be. Oh, okay. Hold on one second. Let me get some water really quickly because my throat is feeling so dry. I love this size. I might have to go down a crochet set for the skirt. You're supposed to, Daphne. Oh wait, you mean down even further than the 3.25 millimeter? Yeah, I really like the size, y'all. I think this size it's giving me inspiration to do a few things. Hold on, let me get some water really quickly. Yeah, I really like her size. There's a couple of things I would change for size and versatility purposes. Like, I think I want to revisit her and change the shape of her feet just to see what that'll be like. Maybe make them long instead of round. Oh, I should get this open. What the heck? Sorry, there's ice in the water. Okay. Let me see. The waistband is too large. I'm going to make a drawstring first to see if that works. The drawstring usually works. But yeah, I wonder why it's too big. It should fit snugly because it's a smaller hook size, but if you're using the same yarn. At a time with my sandals, but I got it. Okay. Visual learner. Yeah, you know what? So here's the goal. For my kind of thing university, my ultimate goal is to get y'all so comfortable with reading instructions that you become people who, well, you become able to do it without needing to see it. Right? That's the goal. That's like my ultimate goal. Like, you're so familiar with the language that you know what it looks like based off of reading. Like that to me is a really cool skill to have. And eyebrows, you know, it's always so funny, the brown on brown. Sometimes I be thinking maybe I should do black for eyebrows even when I have brown hair, because sometimes it's like, it's almost like the same color to me sometimes, and it's just like the contrast is not enough. All right, because it's hard for me to see, especially with this lighting, whether or not these eyebrows match. This is how I have been getting there thanks to MKT. My growth in crochet is amazing. Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome. Yeah, it's all practice. Okay, so yeah, I figured yours would be big, Sandra, because of the yarn you use. And if you're using different brands and not just one brand, you know, that's also a factor sometimes. Let me see if I can get that light that I like to have. Not the green light, but the other light. Because the light in here is kind of yellow. Okay, let's see. Oh, there we go. Now, how can I put this somewhere where it can... Let me see. Nope, that ain't it. Let's see. I need to put it somewhere where it could stay and not... Okay, that's not gonna work. Let's see. I just need it to rest in a way where it can assist me. Let's see. Okay, now move that. There we go. I know that's a little, it's a little ghetto, but we gonna make it do what it do. Okay, yeah. It's so funny because this brown looks very much like her skin. And so doesn't give a whole bunch of expression, but I don't know. It's weird. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Okay. And we are done. And that's okay. It's okay. Oh, no wonder. It's uneven. Y'all wasn't gonna say nothing? See how this stops up here? Following along this same line, it should have stopped here. But it didn't. And so now we got to take that out because you know I don't do that. Okay. See, this is the hard part, dude, trying to figure out where I went. Let me see where, oh, okay, let's. Might have to do a little cutting. I don't like to do it, but I gotta do it because I can't let this happen. Can you show me before you get off how to fold that bow with this piece, with its piece? I don't have one that's done to show. Shoot. I'm trying to see if there's some way. Yeah, because not having one done, like in the way I have them, oh, come on. The way that I have them finished, like they don't, like I can't, like they're permanently done. Okay, this is how you know I did a good job of stitching, right? Because now I can't even get the thing out and I don't know how the heck. So we're just gonna have to pull and cut, right? And then I guess tuck, because I don't know how the heck to get this out. At least we know the eyebrows ain't coming off in the wash or nothing. Oh, okay. Yeah, usually I have the ring light, but because I didn't think the sun would drastically, decline, I didn't have the ring light set up, so I have this other light, which, by the way, what percentage? Because it actually gets lighter. Oh, see, that's what I get for messing with stuff. Always trying to be extra. Because it does get brighter. Now it's in the way. Okay, I'm gonna leave it alone. Now, back to you menacing eyebrow. Let's see. So we start here, and then we go down to here, I believe. Let's make sure. Yep. Don't mind that eyelash. It is going to be fixed permanently with fabric glue. As soon as I can either locate my fabric glue or just buy some more. You know what? I'm feeling a way about these eyebrows, both of them, because it is hard for me to see them on her brown skin. It's funny, the hair contrast is good, but the eyebrow contrast for me is not. And so, because I don't love it, I am taking the brown sugar out and I am using Dragon Glass. I got to do it. I guess to do it. Because I don't like it. It's not contrasting enough for me. And I don't know why, because it's perfectly fine in the first and the other one. But for some reason, this is not translating to me. And I don't like it. But let me just let y'all know this is how it goes down sometimes, right? You don't like something, use your seam ripper and rip it out and do it differently. You know, that's the other thing. Try not to be discouraged when it doesn't come out the way you wanted it to, because you can always just redo it. You know, and if you don't feel like it, take a break and come back to it, right? So I'm going to use the black because I can't see that brown, and I don't know why, because it doesn't. See, I used it here and I can see it perfectly fine, I feel. I don't know. For some reason with this one, it just doesn't seem, I don't know. Maybe I'm just bugging, but I'm going to give her some black eyebrows because the brown was just not doing it for me. Okay, so we're going to go here and here. Oh, that's going to be interesting. I don't think I've ever done this. Now, I've sometimes outsourced and got a darker shade of brown, but I've never just done black with the brown hair. Okay. These make her look kinda interesting. No, I made the same mistake I did the last time. I made one lower than the other. Just realized I'm all off camera. Whew. Follow that line. That's where I'm supposed to be. Okay. And then we do the See that brown sticking out? Do, 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 do. Okay, yeah. This is how it's gonna have to happen here. And you know what? I'm gonna come back across to that other eyebrow because that part right there doesn't look so secure. With the black eyebrows, she's giving me Angry Bird vibes. Okay. Definitely giving Angry Birds vibes, but it's all good. I'm just gonna come out here somewhere. Okay, I don't like that either. Oh, because it looks like one is further over. It's so annoying. Yeah, this is too far over. I'm sorry, y'all. I can't work like this. I can't have this go down. I can't have that go down like that. Nope, we don't play that. No, we do not. We do not. And I'm gonna stuff that right in there. Move. You know what? This is pointless. I'm gonna move those out the way. And try not to get frustrated like I am right now. But I'm like, nah, this is too much. This is too much. This is too much. I don't respect it. We don't do this. We do not do this. We don't condone this. Wait, oh, there we go. Okay. And here's the thing. The trick is you have to be really careful because you do not want to ruin the stitches of the face either. So you want to be mindful of that when making certain types of adjustments. Being mindful not to damage the yarn for the stitches of the face. Everyone have a good night. We'll have to watch on replay. Thank you. No problem. Sandra, hope you feel better. I don't know why. See, now I'm messing up. Okay, so this is what we're going to do. Because what we're not going to do is we're not going to ruin these face stitches by squeezing and pulling. So we're going to clip that there like so. We're gonna move that hair like so. Oh my gosh, like I'm really butchering this little girl face. Like, what is going on? Since when we do that? We do not. We absolutely do not. Okay, and I hope by me doing all of this is not discouraging you. But, you know, sometimes it's like, nah, we not doing that. And then got the nerve to be messing up all my neat stitches. Like, what is going on? Okay. What I need to do is get that black out of sight. I'm trying to bend this. Okay. Okay, there we go. That's better, I think. Now, where is, I'm about to say what? We're almost done, I promise. I just want to show you all one more thing, and then we can call it an evening. Okay, so following that line, we're going to go here. And we're going to come out right here. Okay, I like that. And now I'm going to go back here. And I'm just going to shore up that. That's all. Much better. I still don't love it. Still don't love it, but we'll see. Because not for nothing, if I feel like it, I'll change it again. Play with me. Yeah, because I feel like the eyes. Okay, what do y'all think? This is looking. Listen, she looks confused. Like, what are you doing? Thank you. Will you cut the dot? Yes, I am. I'm going to do that as soon as I'm okay with this, which, okay. Am I okay with this? She looks like, yo, what are you doing? Are you sure that's what you want to do? No, I'm not sure, girl, but if I feel like it, I'll fix it later. Because no. Does it help that she has lashes? Yeah, that helps. Okay, well, you know what? This is fine. Thank you, Daphne. Okay, so now, I don't have a pen next to me right here. But basically, the wooden doll, you should feel it at the top of the doll's head. And wherever the torso stops, which is in this case right here, excuse me, normally I would take a pen or a pencil and I would mark right there. Because I don't have one next to me and I don't want to get up again and leave the camera again for the umpteenth time this live, I'm just going to use my finger as a placeholder. I'm going to pull it out and I'm going to keep my finger as the placeholder, right? Then I'm going to take my cutting tool and I'm going to bring it to where my finger is. And it is important that you do not give her too much, like meaning you need to exactly put it where, like it needs to be cut exactly where her torso ends. Anything longer, you're going to stretch out the stitches of her neck, and you don't want that. And so this is the piece. I'm going to use a nail file. You know what, Daphne? I really feel like I'm probably going to change that up. I'm going to use a nail file to smooth the sides because I don't want any snagging when I go to put the wooden doll inside. And this is just to smooth this part out. Okay, that's smooth enough. Okay, now, basically, insert the wooden doll all the way up the pathway that you've created. There you go. Ta-da, it's in there. See how it stops like literally right where the torso ends? You can feel it in the head. This way, even if it stretches a little bit, which all yarn does over time, acrylic doesn't stretch as much and it allows for it to have a little bit of room. The other thing I love about this design is with the leg up design, using a wooden dowel, I always worry that over time the wooden dowel will shift and get into the leg. I don't have to worry about that with this design style. So like I said, there's a lot of benefits to this design style. You know, it has all the looks of the leg up design with none of the downsides. So now I'm going to use this strand that I left to close up the middle. And it's just a basic, you know, just a little stitch to close it up. I'm going to do it twice in that space. And then twice in the next space. Because remember, it's only 4 stitches, 2 in the front, 2 in the back. And then I'm going to tuck it. See how it looks? It looks like one of the stitches. And I'm just going to hide it somewhere safe and secure. Okay, and I'm going to use my yarn needle to further hide the situation. But how cool is that? Okay. Okay. Ta-da! So look, and she lost the eyelash because, of course, they're not glued on yet. Don't worry about that. Now, one last thing before we go that I wanted to show you all is how I put the earrings on. So because I haven't decided on what her earrings are going to be, I did have hers already ready. Right? And then there is your companion pack also came with jump rings for that. Right? Now, what I realize is even though sometimes I use my fingers to open the jump rings and close them, if you have soft or sensitive fingers, you probably want to use some jewelry making components. And so basically, that's just to open the rings a little bit. Right? And then we put them on here. And then using the stitches of the ears, you know, it's artistically implied that that's the earlobe, right? Can you all see that? And then you can just close it up. And sometimes I use two. I have some sanding paper from the hardware, so oh, that'll work instead of the nail file. And I just want to close up that opening. I never usually have this much trouble. Is that good? Yeah, that's fine. Okay, and instead of opening it up like how I just did, it's actually easier to have it. Let me use a different one because I did it the hard way. Sorry. I did it the hard way. Technically, you don't really want to open it up the way I opened that up. You actually want to open it like this. That way all you have to do is bend it back. Do, 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 do. Promise you, it's not this tedious, or it doesn't have to be this tedious. I'm starting to feel the effects of being up since 6 o'clock this morning. Okay. Same thing with this ear. Well, actually, I want to open it up a little bit more because I don't want it snagging or anything either. And to be realistic, you can take that off. Do this first. Okay. Now that it's in there, here we go. And now simply bend it back towards each other. There we go. Ta-da! And that's how you attach the earrings. I think we're good for this crochet together. Like I said, I will be doing her hair and attaching her lashes off camera. But I think we did it. And so this is what we're going to do. We're going to share our finished products all week in the My Kind of String Facebook group. So make sure you check that out. If you are new here and you are not familiar with how we do in the My Kind of Thing University, you should definitely check us out. The description, the link is in the description to purchase, access, or the instructions for this 5-part series that we are finished. And yeah, I will be seeing y'all again really, really soon because we will be working on the very next thing, which I think I mentioned on Friday. If you weren't there, you gotta kind of go look to see. But anyway, thank y'all so much for joining and participating in yet another My Kind of Thing design via My Kind of Thing University. I can't wait to see your finished versions. And so, yeah, and if I do anything extra, I'll make it a video and put it here and then in different places. I'm getting better at this. So you all have a really great rest of your Sunday. and just stay looking inside of the My Kinda String Facebook group, because that's where all of the updates and things will be. All right, y'all. Bye.